Hi everybody, my name is Madison Carter. I'm in the Authentic Christianity class, fall semester with Crystal Cauthon. I did my book review over boundaries. There's two versions of the book. There's one from 1992, and then the most recent updated version is from 2017 with Dr. Henry Cloud and John Townsend. The book is it's a book that teaches you how to say yes and no to take back control over your life. The book starts out with a woman named Sherry that is a wife and has some kids, and she is a human resources director for McAllister Enterprises. And the book starts out with a hour by hour schedule of her life just to lead into the first chapter that is a boundaryless life. So it just shows her day to day on where she doesn't have boundaries and where she probably needs to learn where boundaries are. And there's a big part in the first chapter that Sherry walks into a morning meeting late, but no one's upset with her because she makes up for it being late through basically her whole day. She's more shown as a gopher. But when she sits down in her office of the chairs, it's like as soon as she sits down, she has this friend that just seems like she always knows when she is at work and always seems to be in a problem for Sherry to fix. Following chapter 1, it goes to examples in different areas of boundaries. So chapter 2 is called What Does a Boundary Look Like? Followed by boundary problems, followed then by how to develop boundaries, then 10 laws of boundaries, common boundary myths, boundaries, and then the book shares chapters of how to create boundaries with your family, your friends, your spouse, children, work, the digital age, yourself, and with God. Then that's followed by resistance to boundaries, how to measure success with boundaries, and then ends with what a life looks like with boundaries. To kind of recap what some of those chapters mean and what really stuck out to me in those chapters is boundaries. People usually know them as like physical features, such as like fences, gates, walls, and signs. It's pretty blatant obvious. If you're not allowed to go somewhere, then it obviously says do not enter. That is a boundary that you probably shouldn't cross. But the boundaries that this book tries to teach us about is about boundaries that are most likely harder to see. But those boundaries in our life help define and guard our soul. There's actually a verse in the Bible, Proverbs 4:23, that follows along with that. To have boundaries, it means to take ownership, and it's kind of like boundaries are like a metaphor for where my property ends and someone else's begins. And that's what you need to take care of. Like, your boundaries are your property stop and go line, and that's what you need to take care of, and the other person needs to take care of. I really liked the 10 laws of the boundaries, which was in chapter 5. And the 10 laws are sowing and reaping, which is biblical, responsibility, law of power, law of respect, laws of motivation, evaluation, proactivity, envy, activity, and exposure. I really would suggest that people go into the depths because I'm almost out of time. But overall, boundaries are a really good thing that everyone needs in their life. It's where you need to tell someone no to make sure that you're being taken care of so you can pour into other people. People aren't going to like that you are going to tell them no, that you can't help them because you need to put yourself first. It's okay to be selfish sometimes, but also you need to take care of you and make sure that you're doing what God needs you to do, because you're not God and you can't be God. And so people can ask God for help also, and not always for you. So yeah, that's my book. I'm out of time.